The stories you're about to hear are real. For the respect of the people sharing them, we ask that you please keep them private.
I like to go against the grain. I like to have fun in college. I'm a social person. I like to hang out and meet new people. Being surrounded by a bunch of guys, I like to hang out with them. I'm best friends with one of them, good friends with all of the rest. And even better, the attention that I get from those friends is something I crave. Some of them are sweet and love to be different like me. I meet one of the many and we get along great. The attention I get from them feels good, and he doesn't love the Lord, but that's fine, right? For some reason, I can't get on board with how my best friend treats me, the right way, the only one who actually treats me this way, the godly way. This attention I crave from the other ones turns greater and greater, and the more I crave to go against the grain, the farther we go. Too far, I freak out, I move on. But I'm still craving this attention from all those people saying how fun I am. I find my identity in the attention I get. So time to go too hard at the bars and still somehow wake up next to one of those guys who gives me that attention I crave. And it makes me feel good. I think I'm cool and accepted. It makes me feel loved. But at this point, is that even real love? How can a best friend treat me better than anyone else, yet I still want everything else? The more I become invested in these things, the more I fall away from my relationship with God. The more I become okay with telling God that I don't care what happens. I can justify anything if I try hard enough. And just like that, I keep having this worldly fun that I'm having until it physically breaks me. Until I'm forced to stop because my choices make me sick. The news of being sick from my action tears me to pieces. This is my rock bottom. The only thing I knew to do was find a safe place to cry. This is where I realized I'm bound by my sin and can't break free.
I'm 14 years old, and the preacher's kid's title is something that looms over me every time I walk into the church lobby on Sunday morning. As soon as I enter, it feels like all eyes turn in my direction. I can never escape the spotlight, feeling the pressure to constantly have to put on an act in front of people who are just waiting for me to slip up and condemn me for being a sinner. It feels as though the whole church is out to get me. I play the part of the righteous pastor's kid because that's what's expected of me. But inside, a deep-rooted disdain for the church and Christianity grows stronger and stronger within me every day. Everywhere I look in the church body, I see hypocrisy. I see hundreds of adults holding me to a standard that they themselves cannot live up to. I see adulterers, drunkards, liars, and slanderers all trying to place their judgment on me. I have a stark moment of realization. The place where I'm supposed to feel welcomed, loved, and accepted is actually the place I feel the most judged, uncomfortable, and unwelcomed. My perception of the church becomes my perception of God, a judgmental rule giver who just wants to ruin everything that's fun. I carry these feelings with me throughout my childhood. I continue to play the part on Sundays to please my parents, but I will decide that I will find my way in this world without God. I'm 18 years old now, and I'm well on my journey of finding satisfaction and acceptance in this world without God. Soccer has now become my God. I pour all my time and energy into it, and I make some good friends along the way. As I make friends and have fun after school, and as I continue to play, my identity becomes more and more tied to my performance on the soccer field. I spend every moment thinking about how I can improve on the field and earn the respects of my parents, coaches, and teammates that I'm so desperately seeking. It turns into an unhealthy obsession in which my performance on the field negatively affects the way I treat my family and friends. This all comes to a crashing halt during my senior year of high school when travel soccer ends. I am completely lost. I spent the last 13 years of my life pulling all my time and effort into something that ultimately leaves me empty and longing for more. But I don't need God. I can find my own fulfillment, I think to myself. Plus, I know what will fulfill me: drugs and alcohol. They're easy and super fun, and all my friends do it, so what's so wrong with it? I party every chance I get, chasing a high better than the last. It's a blast for the first few couple of months. Finally feel accepted by my classmates and meet a lot of new people. But after a while, I start to have an overwhelming sense of emptiness and worthlessness. I come home one night after excessively binge drinking, and I think to myself, what did I gain from tonight? I don't have an answer to this question. I begin to realize all my friendships are centered around drinking and drugs, and I feel like a complete stranger to the people I would call my closest friends. They don't actually know me. We just party together. But I'm so desperately seeking their validation that I continue to party even though I feel empty and alone. The smile on my face on a Saturday night is a facade. I'm stuck in a vicious cycle of partying, feeling empty, and drinking to forget. I'm trapped and I can't get out. But I don't turn to God. I have this under control, I think to myself. I search for fulfillment in the last avenue I have left, girls and sex. If I can get an attractive girl to be my girlfriend, that will finally fill this void in my heart, right? I say to myself. Give it an opportunity to do just that. I meet a stunning young woman, and we begin to talk almost every day. Our first date goes well, and I begin to fall for her. With each passing date and phone call, I fall harder. She soon becomes the only person I talk to outside of my parents. She's different from any girl I've ever met. She radiates joy and love in a way I've never seen before, and I can't put my finger on why. During one of our dates, she shares her faith with me, and I don't think much of it. Instead, my mind goes, oh, perfect, my dad's a pastor, that must mean we're meant for each other. But I understand little about what it means to have a personal relationship with Jesus. This leads me into leading us into sexual sin. I play it off and continue to pursue her, but I notice she becomes more and more distant with each passing day. Finally, I received the text I've been dreading. Hey, we need to talk. My heart sinks. She calls me and ends things with me because I'm pulling her away from her relationship with God. I break down in tears. I've not only lost this relationship, but my only friend and the last thing my hope clung to. I am bound by unfulfillment and seeking acceptance.
It's almost Thanksgiving. I've been excited for weeks. I'm 10 years old, and Thanksgiving is my favorite time of the year. My whole extended family will be coming very soon and spending the whole week with us. After a long wait, it's finally here. I hug each person tightly when they walk through the door, and I'm so excited to be with them all. That feeling doesn't last long. Quickly, I'm reminded that I'm the youngest in my family. I'm left out of conversations. I feel ignored. I always expect that someone will notice me, ask more about my life, want me involved in a conversation, but I'm let down every time. When they do acknowledge me, they call me Sweet Sarah or Sarah Francis. I hate it. I smile because that's what I'm supposed to do, but I'm angry. I'm angry they only see me as a child, like I have nothing to offer, and I often feel like they don't even realize I'm there. They say I'm sweet because I know how to be polite, but they don't know me, and they don't seem to care to get to know me. So even being around 20 people, I still feel like no one wants to know me. I never know how to articulate these feelings, so I cry. No one asks me why. They laugh at how sensitive I am. That's what I'm known for. I'm embarrassed and ashamed of my feelings. Deep down, I feel hatred for myself for being too sensitive, too emotional. I'm 12 years old now, a little older, a little wiser. I recognize that I live in a great home. My parents have a stable marriage, and we go to church every Sunday. We don't talk about our feelings, but that's normal. My family loves me, and I love them. Most of the time, I'm happy. There are days when I'm not happy, though. The feeling sneaks up on me, the one that makes me feel like a stranger in my own home. I feel unknown by my parents and by my siblings. I cry in my room, wishing someone understood me. I'm in high school now, and I feel like I have something to prove. I can be tough and confident. I lean into what I'm good at. I put all my time and energy into sports. I learned I'm pretty good at volleyball, so I start working even harder. It's an outlet, something I'm good at. I make friends with my teammates. and I can tell my dad is proud of me. I make a reputation for myself. I'm an athlete, hardworking, tough, and strong. While I still don't feel fully known, I pretend I am what I'm known for. Senior year now, and my plans of playing volleyball in college just fell through. I'm crushed. Everything that I built for myself has come crashing down, and I'm left with an unknown future. I just want to distract myself. So I start hanging out with my friends. My friend group is changing, and I start to talk to a boy. We become friends, and quickly more than friends. We start dating, and he becomes my focus. He's my first real boyfriend. Finally, I have someone who wants just me. He's kind and loving, even when I'm not. He always wants to talk about Jesus. I don't. I understand Jesus died for my sins and I'm forgiven, so what more is there to talk about? But I go along with it because I want my boyfriend to love me. I so badly want to be fully known, but I'm scared. I'm scared to be vulnerable, so I withdraw. I don't want to cry in front of him, so I put walls up. It's senior year anyways. We probably won't keep dating in college. Yet again, I find myself feeling unknown, lonely, and unsatisfied, even by the person I thought would satisfy me. I am bound by my desire for the world to satisfy me.
At a year old, completely dependent, not even able to fully walk or talk, I am being pushed in a stroller next to my brother Caleb, who is on a separate one. Seconds later, I am pushed out of the way as a truck heads straight for my brother. My mom watches as her firstborn son passes away in her arms. I didn't know that for the rest of my life, I would begin to feel that she was holding back a love for me. June 2004. At 3 years old, I am admitted to a hospital for urgent surgery and began what will end up being 10 years of 16 surgeries. Over the course of those next 10 years, I mastered the art of pushing both my physical and emotional pain down, telling everyone I am fine. I spent months on end, tormented by loneliness, scared, learning to hate the pain and distrust those around me. September 29th, 2009. At 8 years old, knock, knock. My mom answers, talks to some person in a uniform and a weird-looking hat for a while. I go to bed confused and scared, but not even aware of the severity of the situation. I later learned this would be the night that my father would attempt to take his own life, ending his relationship with me, and leaving me alone and scared. Months later, he would walk out on my family entirely, starting a new life with another woman. I have not heard anything from him since I was 9 years old. My understanding of love is polluted and broken. December 2009. I believe that I am the problem. I question every action that I ever make. I spiral into distrust of any and everyone around me, even those who seem to desire to do good. Fearing pain, I stuff it all down until I lash out, causing the police to be called multiple times. Confused as to all the emotions I am feeling, I respond in any way that will get my mom's attention off of her present sadness and emotions in her present situation. I crave the attention and love that I desperately desire to fill a hole bigger than just my situation. This comes boiling over when one morning I wake up alone in a room I don't recognize, with a hazy memory of what happened the night before. All I had wanted to do was get some attention. Why can't these stupid adults seem to understand? I just want things to be back to normal. I just said things I knew would capture their attention. I didn't actually need them. I stay here for weeks in a facility for kids who act out. I'm brought to more therapists than I seem to count. They attempt to fix the way I am behaving and feeling. I feel like a project where results are desired. No one understands me. I'm isolated and abandoned. I hate everyone around me. I want them to feel the pain deep inside me, so I continue to flare up. August 2013. At 12 years old, I have found a new way to cope with my feelings. There is a website that shows me these pictures and soon videos of people who seem to have filled that void that I feel. Something that originally felt uncomfortable to watch, I soon begin to like. I love the way it makes me feel, and for a moment I can escape from my reality. I begin to watch more and more, as it becomes the only thing I look forward to. All I can think of during school is when I can go back home and watch porn and escape the world of people looking to abuse, hurt, and use me. These aren't real situations, so it's okay for me to use them. I best not tell anyone though. I must keep this to myself, or it will be taken from me. I can't bear to lose the only joy I have left in life. July 10th, 2018. I am 17 years old now, and I've gone 5 years without any major interruptions. I still feel completely empty inside, but the longer I move on, the more and more numb I become to it. I don't think this is the life I am meant for. Having zero friends, trusting no one, and being completely alone. I want to find inner peace. But having not had any interruptions for a few years, I think it best if I don't ask any questions. Oh wait, what's that on the news? Pray for Connor? Why do I have a deep feeling that I know this person? Texts begin to flood in, and soon it sinks in. My classmate, my friend, my coworker, the very person I was working a shift for this morning has died in a car accident. Literal days after getting his license. Why did he have to die? Why am I feeling so much pain? First of all, God, I doubt your existence and your love. But second, if you do exist, how could you allow so much pain to be felt by all these people I cared so deeply about? I had coped with the feelings of loss I had felt in my own life. But as I begin to feel the hundreds of classmates' emotions around me, I am exhausted, confused, in deep emotional pain, and again, abandoned and all alone. December 2018. Finally nearing freedom. I will be able to flee the people, the pain and failure that I feel back at home. All I must do is wait 8 more months. Might as well distract myself until then, though. I pursue and get into 2 relationships throughout my senior year. I look at her and see all the pleasure that she gives me. One day she tells me I am the best thing that has happened to her. She opens up and tells me about what she is going through in life. I act all calm and collected, bringing her gifts I make, telling her words like I love you, showing her that I care for her. I begin to trick myself into thinking everything I am doing is from a good heart. I pursue these relationships for what on the outside looks like a healthy, kind, and loving relationship. But inside, I only want her for what she gives me. I seek sexual attention and I'm fishing for compliments that even when given, I don't believe. I am an abusive, self-centered, performing, judgmental, isolated Christian without any relationship with God, and I have no true joy. I end my summer of 2019 solo, feeling not only unloved, but unwanted, and looking to the future only because of how painful the past is. August 2019. At 18 years old, I begin college and totally reject any part of the Christian life that I once lived. Why would I pursue it? The same God that wanted a relationship with me, as everyone says, is the same God that would allow my brother to die, my mom to see so much hurt, my dad to leave, my 16 surgeries setting me back in social life, and so much more. If God does exist, I don't want a relationship with him. I would go on and live the life that I want to live, free from this restricting religion. I am just going to hope that when I die, it's not instant. I'll ask for forgiveness on my deathbed, after I have lived my life to the fullest. So I pursue everyone and anything I can get my hands on. I go to parties, pursue sexual relationships with women, and get into as many friend groups as I can. One by one. They all fail me. I spend night after night in a room where my roommate is completely ignoring me. I have no friends. Nothing about my situation had changed. And even more so now, I have a whole caseload of evidence as to why I am unwanted. I lay on my bed defeated, exhausted, grades are plummeting. Nothing exists around me to keep me afloat. No one seems to care. They all have families and friends and finances to fall back on. I slip away beneath the cracks of society. I am bound by my sin. I can no longer fight. There is no hope. If I have the strength to die, I will kill myself.
Find me and speak to me. I want to feel you. I need to hear you. You are the light that's leading me to the place where I find peace again. You are the strength that keeps me walking. You are the hope that keeps me trusting. You are the light into my soul. You are my purpose. You're everything. And how can I stand here with you and not be moved by you? Would you tell me how could it be any better than that? Yeah. You calm the storm and you give me rest. You hold me in your hand and you let me fall. You still my heart and you take my breath away. Would you take me in? Would you tell me how could it be any better than Would you tell me how could it be any better than this?
Throughout this entire time, the only thing that remains constant is my best friend. He's sometimes the only reason I'll just go through the motions of going to church and attending Bible study. He's the only person that will truly show me how the Lord loves and forgives anyone. Because of this feeling of just wanting to show I'm a bad, terrible person, I go through all those right motions. I watch sermons, go to Bible study, go to church, do all the right things. As I'm doing this, I can feel God meeting me in those places. It wasn't until I heard the right sermon do I actually feel the Lord loving me. I know everything I've been doing is wrong. The sermon made me realize a few things. Sometimes the pit you're in is God's provision. God can't promote me and use me if I still have a heart of compromise. When my faith is fractured, I can still find favor and I can still be faithful. When my faith is fractured, it's up to me if I follow a flow of trust or live in a famine of dependency. This is the point of my surrender. This is when I realize the amount of people praying for me, the faith that my best friend has, the heart with no compromise for the things I've been doing. He represents the love that God is trying to show me and points me in the direction of finding who God has made me to be. God uses his trust in the Lord to show me the trust I need to have in the Lord. I realize that my best friend isn't my only constant, the Lord is. I don't need this attention from people. I crave the attention of the love that God shows.
I spent 18 years of my life running from the Lord every chance I got. I turned away from him. I blasphemed his name. I didn't love him. I ran. And in my deepest, darkest moment, when I needed him the most, he didn't turn his back on me. He didn't say, no, you're not enough. He reached out a hand to me and told me I was loved. Told me I was his son. And that the value he saw in me was because he innately created me, beautifully and wonderfully knit me in the womb. One of one, Ben Ryan, I am the only one. And it's not because of what I've done, or who I know, or my major, or the friends I have, or the relationships. It's none of that. It's Jesus. On the cross when he said, it is finished, that was it. It is done. It is nothing that I have to do. It is Christ first. What a blessing and mercy it is to wake up every single day and know the question is no longer who am I, it's whose am I? And that is Jesus Christ. And he died on the cross for my sins. And since I've let him into my life, he's restored my soul. He's broken my addiction to drugs and alcohol. He's given me a beautiful community that loves me, not because of what I give them, but because that's what Jesus calls us to. It's at the center of everything. And I get to sit here and stand here and tell you guys that he can do the same thing for you. Thank you guys.
Guys, I'm not supposed to be alive today, but I can confidently say that God is with me in every trial, and even when I look back at some of them, still confused as to why, God, why. I am sure that God is in every moment. That being said, on July 9th, 2002, during my brother's death, God was watching over me and saved me by a miracle. Being pushed out of the way when I was completely helpless, He was there. June 2004. Amid my 16 surgeries, and specifically in the beginning, God was watching over me. And in complete shock at the hospital, I was not blind or worse. Miraculously, the surgeries were effective, and I have not had one in the past 5 years. September 9th. When my father walked out on me, my Heavenly Father provided for me. Financially, I was cared for. Money showed up at the last possible second. I had food when I needed it, and programs popped up in moments of desperate need. God was there for me when I wanted nothing to do with Him. August 2019. After pursuing my own unfulfilling desires at college, God kept saying to me that I should give up my life, and I didn't know how. God brought people and friends into my life who loved the Lord and brought me to church with them. One Sunday, I was sitting at church and we were taking communion, and the pastor said something that caught my attention. He said, "Don't take communion just because you want to do what is right. When we take it, I want you to focus your thoughts on God and take a second to clear your mind of things that may be tempting you right now." But when I tried to do that, I couldn't. I tried and tried to fill myself with godly thoughts, and then it hit me. I couldn't possibly fill my thoughts with God if I didn't have God inside me. At that moment, I became overwhelmed by my sinfulness. I finally understood what God wanted with me. All my life, I had searched for someone to understand me, to be wanted, to be loved. I put my worth in anything and gave my all to people. Whenever I began to feel understood, yet each of these things and people failed me. The ones who were there for me were soon gone. The power of empathy, which is the ability to understand and empathize with someone's weaknesses and experiences, is what we are all searching for. For Psalm 139 says, "O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. You know when I sit down or I stand up. You know my thoughts, even when I'm far away." The friends and family around us who show love and empathy and understanding are but a muddy reflection of the love and compassion that Jesus had on the cross and has for us now in freedom. I repented of the life that I tried to build on me and decided on His strength to go on a journey with Him. I have since struggled with repenting, walking, and believing what God has said is true, and living like He loves and He likes me. However, the lyrics of this song have been motivational in times of need. I'm going to sing till my heart starts changing. Oh, I'm going to worship until I mean every word. Because the way that I feel and the fear that I'm facing doesn't change who you are or what you deserve. I give you my worship. You still deserve it. You are worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy of my song. I will pour out your praises in blessing and breaking. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of my song. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Jesus. God is worthy of our song regardless of how we feel. And I can sing today because I'm forever changed, even if I don't feel it every second. God has brought me from unloved and unwanted to pursued and shepherded. So we will sing to the worthy one, and the worthy one is Jesus, for He is the author and the perfecter